So we're on day 3 of our Legoland on a budget trip, and actually, no, I take that back. We're on day 4. So we are actually going to be leaving later today, but we've got a little rain today, and so we're trying to find indoor things to do, which was not very hard because the aquarium is actually open today, even though the park is closed at this time of year on Tuesdays and on Wednesdays. So we're going to hang out in the aquarium and check that out again for a little bit, and then we also discovered the Museum of Music Making, which is right across the way from the Legoland Resort. So we're gonna go indoors and check that out and make a little music, and then get some lunch. Hi, Teacher Berg here with This Mommy Travels, and we have finally reached the end of our Legoland on a budget trip, and we had a great time. We did lots of stuff. The kids had a blast, and the coolest thing for me anyway is that we got to do all this fun stuff and save money while we were doing it, which makes the trip even that much sweeter. Because we can come home and relax and not be stressed out because we have a bunch of debt that we incurred on the vacation. We had a budget, we stuck to it, and we had a great time. I put together a couple of top takeaways for the trip in case you're planning a trip like this one, or to Legoland, that will help you also to save some money and be less stressed out with a family vacation. So the first one is going off season, which I talked about in the first video, which is huge because we went after Christmas and New Year's, went the day after New Year's Day, and it was big savings on the price of the hotel. It also coincided with the park's hours during the year, which I'm sure has a lot to do with the price for the hotel, why it comes down so much. But still, the park, the day that we were there, that we were in the hotel, the park was open. The kids got to go spend the day. It was a beautiful day. And the hotel was so much cheaper because we didn't go during Christmas. It was from Christmas to New Year's Day, the price dropped by more than half. The prices during Christmas and New Year were close to $300, and we came down to about $150, a little less than $150. So that was a huge savings right there. The next thing is booking online. I learned something when I went to go buy my tickets. I thought calling the actual hotel or the hotel line that I found online would be a lot cheaper for getting the tickets. I don't know. I had heard somewhere that calling directly would get you a better price, but a price that I found online one day, I thought, it was a pretty good price for staying at the hotel, but when I called the hotel directly, it was more than twice the price for a hotel stay. And the customer service person told me that the price that I had seen online was an internet-only special. So by buying my ticket online, I saved a ton as well on the hotel stay. It doesn't say on the hotel site when you go online that that's the best price that you're going to get. So just know that you can try calling the hotel, but chances are internet only is where you're going to get your best deal. I mean, it was a huge difference in the nightly price. And they go pretty quickly. The person on the phone told me that they changed from minute to minute, and sure enough, when I tried to get the ticket that the hotel night that I had tried to book the day before, the price had gone up by $30. So if you see a great price and you think it's a great price, be happy with that. Don't get greedy. Grab the great internet price, because a lot of times the best price is the internet only specials. The third thing is to split the stay between the Legoland Hotel and an inexpensive area hotel. Okay, now I don't know about you, but I'm not hugely picky about hotels. I say hugely because yes, certain criteria do apply. I don't want, a super dive, but I will stay someplace that is not the top of the line luxury, or someplace that is fancy. Because I know that if I'm on a vacation, most of my time is going to be spent out and about doing things on the trip. It's not going to be sitting in the hotel room. So I can do without fancy. And that being said, to save money if you're going for a multiple day stay, and especially someplace like a theme park, you don't necessarily have to stay in the theme park for the whole time to get the benefit of staying in the hotel theme park. We stayed at Legoland Hotel on the third night that we were in the area. For the other 2 nights before that, we stayed in an area hotel, which was so much cheaper, dirt cheap. And there are now, as we were talking about with the internet, so many places that you can get mid-level, 3-star hotels that you can get that are motel prices. If you are super picky about hotels, then maybe this is not the savings tip for you. Because if you need, your pillows turned down and the candy on the pillow and, all of your amenities that just make a nice hotel experience, then you may want to skip this one. But as far as I'm concerned, as long as I have the basics, I'm good. So, and paying $50 for a hotel room that I'm not really going to use all that much, it to me is a great way to save on a vacation. Especially if I know that for part of that vacation, I am going to be able to splurge a little bit more and stay someplace that I really enjoy, at least for 1 or 2 of the nights that I'm there. So for us, part of the savings was choosing a less than 5-star hotel, staying in a 3-star hotel that I found online. That was my criteria, trying to get the 3-star level. That was as low as I was going to go. They had 1 stars on there, but I wasn't going to do that. So we stayed in a room, nothing fancy at all. It was a Ramada. So by any means, it's not a fancy hotel, but it was this suite that we got for about $56 on, again, an internet special. And it was basic, but it was fine. It was appropriate and decent, and the kids enjoyed it. My kids love staying in hotels. It doesn't really matter what they look like. I mean, we've never stayed in so much of a dive that they have an idea that even exists, but they were fine with our basic hotel room, our basic kitchen suite. We had a kitchen in the room, and that made a huge difference as well, because we shopped. We went to the supermarket on our first, I think it was the first night there. We went and we bought some things because we had a refrigerator, we had a stove in the room, we had a microwave and a toaster. So we bought drinks and we bought some things that we could make in the microwave for dinners, so that at the end of the day, after we left the park, we didn't have to figure out where we're going to eat dinner and have to spend a ton. And theme park restaurants are usually, even if the food is not that great, it's usually pretty expensive. So we avoided that whole thing, and the kids knew at the end of the day we were going back to the hotel room. We were going to make dinner there, and they were happy with that because they could turn on their TV. Since it was a little suite, they had a bedroom of their own, and they were happy as clams getting their dinner and taking it into their bedroom and eating their dinner in front of their TV, where they had they could watch whatever they wanted. So that worked out really well for us, spending about 50. One night was 56, the other night was, I think, 63 for that Ramada room with a suite where we were able to cook and save on cooking on dinner for 2 nights by cooking in the room rather than eating out at restaurants. And the breakfast was included in the room rate, the $50 room rate. So, and it was a nice breakfast. They had, we had eggs and bacon and bagels and cereal. So the kids were great. We filled up in the morning on our breakfast and then would go and spend the day at the park. So that was a huge saving. So whenever you can, consider, not spending the whole time at the fancier or theme park hotels, which tend to be more expensive, but staying at those places as sort of a treat at the end of your trip, and spending 1 or 2 nights at the nicer place, and then saving. We saved over $100 just by doing the 2 nights at the Ramada as opposed to all of the nights at the Legoland Hotel. And to me, that's huge. Even more than that, I think from what we would have paid at the Legoland Hotel, we saved at least a couple $100. Okay, so number 4 is get a membership and pay monthly. This obviously makes a whole lot of sense for people who live close enough to visit Legoland on a regular basis, at least a few times a year. But I think it even makes sense for people who are just coming from out of state or far away to visit Legoland just once for the year, because a basic membership is $149, and you're going to pay at least almost $100 to get into the park for one ticket for one day. Chances are, if you're coming from far away, out of state or hours away, you're going to stay for more than one day. So that's a huge savings right there, because if you're staying for 2 days, 3 days, which I think the average person does if they're coming from far away, your savings is huge right there. You're paying $149 per person for the basic membership instead of $100 per person per day. So that's a huge savings. Plus, on top of that, you get a 20% savings from all the stores in the park. So 20% on your food, on souvenirs, another huge savings. So even if you're just coming for a vacation that you're only going to do that once a year, or you're only going to visit Legoland one time in the year, getting a membership makes financial sense. It's going to save you money, and at the basic level, at any level, I think you get even extras when you get your membership. They always have incentives. They have a gift card, $200, $100. Or when we got our membership, we got free. We had a free membership, not a free membership, a free entry. So we were able to take a friend, because I think we got 2 with our particular plan, because we ended up buying a payment plan. So we paid monthly for our membership, and we've gone at least 3 times this past year with our membership, so we've saved a ton right there. So I would suggest getting a membership. That will end up saving you a ton, even if you're only coming for the one-time trip in the year. And number 5, the last takeaway, is to go when you're going. We talked about going off season, but to add to that, going on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday in the winter months at Legoland will save you a ton, because in the winter, I believe it starts, I'm not sure when it starts. You can always check that out online, but certain months in the year, in the winter months, Legoland is closed on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Therefore, the price for the Legoland Hotel, if you're planning on staying there, which I highly recommend, I have to tell you, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. It's such great fun. But the price for the Legoland Hotel at those times in the year when Legoland is closed on Tuesdays and Wednesdays goes way, way down. We're talking a difference of $300 a night to $100 a night when the park is closed on Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, you might wonder, why would I stay at the Legoland Hotel if the park is closed? Well, it's not closed on Monday, so you could always book a night on Monday night so that you can use the park on Monday. You can spend all day at the park on Monday and stay at the hotel on Monday night, and then on Tuesday do something else in the area. You are in Carlsbad, so you have the Carlsbad Flower Garden, which is beautiful. There's a museum right across the street from Legoland called the Museum of Music Making, which we did on our last day in the area, and that was really fun. My kids love music. They play instruments, so it was great fun going in there and trying out all the different instruments. And then the flower gardens, if you're into gardening and flowers, it's beautiful. You can spend a day roaming around there, and you're also close to San Diego, so you have the zoo there, and you have the ton of activities that you can find to do in San Diego for that day. So you could kind of wander around the area and do other things on the Tuesday if you set that up to be your last day on the trip. So you could get that last night at the hotel and even the night before, because Monday night would be the dirt cheap $100 price. But the night before that, the Sunday night, it is probably about $120. So still really, really inexpensive for a really cute hotel. And so, speaking of the hotel, like I mentioned, I think it's super cute and super fun. When you get there, you get this little packet, which the kids just enjoy because it tells you all about the stuff that's at the hotel. And the hotel is just so kid friendly that my kids get a kick out of it, and they always ask to go stay there. As soon as we get back from a stay, they want to go back. But you get this little packet that tells you all about the things that they have going on. They have magic shows. They have a Lego building contest in the lobby. They have a very, very kid-friendly restaurant that has a buffet. They have a restaurant right across from that in the lobby that is for adults. It has a full bar. They have a lounge that is just littered with Legos, and there's an area where kids can just build. There's a castle the kids can play in that has Legos, and parents can sit and watch their kids play and relax because they have a smaller bar in that area. There's a television where the kids can watch Lego movies and Lego programs. And then behind that, there is a pool area that in the summertime is super cute because they show movies out there every night, and the kids can get on their floaties. They serve popcorn. They can watch the movies from their floaties. And during the winter months, if it's rainy, they have a community room where I believe they show the Lego movie and other types of entertainment they plan for the kids if the weather is bad. But the rooms themselves are themed. They have either pirate themes or kingdom themes, or the third one is adventure theme. And the kids can choose which one of the rooms that they want. They all have treasures in them, so the kids get to go looking for their treasure once they get to the room. The rooms are all separated into a kids area and an adult area. So you have a bunk bed area for the kids with their own TV that is separate from the grown-up area, which has a queen or a king size bed. And there's access straight to the park from the lobby area, which if you're a guest of the hotel, you get to have an extra hour access in the morning, which is also pretty cool when you stay at the hotel. So you get to get in early and get on the rides because there's no lines, there's nobody else except the people who are staying at the hotel. There are two restaurants in the hotel. One that is very, very kid friendly, has a huge buffet that the kids just love, and the characters walk around and talk to the kids. Again, the decor is very whimsical and colorful, and a lot of, as you can imagine, very fun food choices that are finger foods that the kids really like and get into. A lot of choices for adults too. I really enjoy eating in that restaurant, but if you prefer something a little more subdued, there is an adult restaurant right across the hallway that is quieter, and it's not buffet style. You can order, and it's considered the adult restaurant in the hotel, and it's just a really fun experience. Oh, I can't forget the farting floors. There's no end to the laughs that the kids get about that. You step on certain areas and you get the farting sound. And then there's the disco ball in the elevator, which is always super fun because it goes off as soon as the doors close, and so you're trapped with whoever's in that elevator to have a dance party because the disco ball starts spinning and lighting up and playing disco music. So it's a really fun and cute experience. And I highly recommend it if you're going to a Legoland vacation, that at least for one of the nights that you check out the Legoland Hotel and have the kids enjoy that. I also wanted to mention, I wrote down each of our expenses each day, what we spent, our tally, just to give you an idea of what Legoland on a budget really means, what the expenses are, or at least what our expenses are. And on our first night, I don't know if you can see it. I'll try to tilt the camera just a little bit so you can see, if you can. I don't know if you can. I'll zoom in a little bit to see if we can get a better view Okay, that's a little bit of a zoom. I don't know how well you can see that, but that is what we spent each day. On the first day, I mentioned we savings on the hotel. We spent $53 on the hotel. We bought ice cream in the park for $10. We bought coffee for $6. We bought groceries, spent about $41 on that, buying things that we could cook for dinner that night and the next night. So, and then we bought lunch for $22 outside the park. We were already outside the park because we were getting ready to check into the hotel, and we went to a local pizza joint and we got pizza. So we spent $22 on that. So a total of $132 for that day. The second day, because breakfast is included in the hotel room, we didn't pay for that. We paid $63 for the hotel. Um, Lunch was $46.50. We ate in the park. The girls wanted to have, there's a ramen restaurant in the park, in the Legoland park, so we ate there. We bought snacks throughout the day at the park, which added up to about $20. And dinner, we didn't have to pay for because we had already bought dinner items to cook in the hotel room the night before. So that didn't cost us anything. So the total for that day was $129.50. On day 3, as you can see, our Legoland hotel day, as it's written on Legoland stationery, we spent $157 for the hotel, because that was the savings for the Legoland hotel, because prior to that, as I mentioned, it would have been close to $300 if we hadn't gone on a day that was after New Year's, and also a day that was close to the day Legoland was going to be closed. So $157 for the hotel room, lunch for $25.40. Snacks throughout the park throughout the day, $11.88, and a souvenir gift bag. I mean, we got a few things that the girls wanted, so we spent about $45 on that, and the total for that day was $239.94. Then on our fourth day, or last day, again, we had free breakfast at the Legoland Hotel, because the stay at the Legoland Hotel also includes the breakfast buffet, which is a very substantial breakfast buffet. So you could really load up on that breakfast and not be hungry for a long time throughout the day. So that was included. That didn't cost us anything. And then we went to the aquarium, because Legoland, remember, we stayed on Monday night at Legoland, and Tuesday Legoland is closed, but the aquarium is open. So that's a big deal, because you have the other things I mentioned that you can do, but you could also stay at Legoland and go to the aquarium, which is open all day on the day that Legoland is closed. So we went to the aquarium after breakfast and had fun there, because the girls really liked it. And then we went to the Museum of Music Making, which is right across the street. It took us 5 minutes to get there. The tickets for that were like $5 each. I think we got a discount for being a student, and for one of my daughters is under 11, so we ended up paying $23 total for that. And then lunch, we bought lunch in the area, that added up to $26. We spent gas to get back home, which was about $25. And so day 4 was $74. That was our total for day 4. I added a couple of other small expenses. Gas on the way there, we spent $35. There was a resort fee for the Legoland Hotel, which was $25, and taxes was $17.50. So those were extras, and a few little other miscellaneous extras, but not much. I would say a couple of dollars. But the grand total ended up being about $552. Oh, sorry. What I just now did, I'm gonna see if I can zoom in a little bit more, was $652.94. And if you can see on the bottom, I minus $100 from that. So the total of our trip was only $552. And the reason is because of this $100 gift card. And as I mentioned, I am a sucker for a bargain. And when we were in the park, we came across a booth, and I'm sure if you've been to fairs or, probably in other amusement parks, you've seen this happen from time to time. You come across a booth that is offering a tour or something like that, which are usually vacation or timeshare type things. But that's what we came across in Legoland in the park as we were walking. And this was a vacation club. They were offering $100 for going on the tour. I know some people don't like doing those kinds of tours because they think they're a pain, but to me, if there's something that I really want that's worth it, taking that 90 minutes out of my time, I'm okay with going through the tour and then saying no, if I'm getting a gift that I believe to be worth it. And to me, $100 gift card was pretty worth it. And it helped us shave off another $100 from our trip. And this was kind of a cool presentation because they had a kids club, and that's what I'm holding up here. It's a kids club, a brochure for the club just for kids. So my kids, in addition to us going to the aquarium and going to the Museum of Music Making, they also got to have a fun time on that last day when Legoland wasn't even open anyway. And they had a club where they can go and play games and draw and watch movies and play video games and lounge, and breakfast and lunch was included in that. Even though we had eaten, if we hadn't, they would have had some food at the vacation club presentation. So to me, that was a pretty good trade-off for my time. In general, I think these types of offers are pretty good deals because if I'm getting something I think is worth my time and energy, I'm willing to go and spend the 90 minutes listening to the vacation plan. I love talking about travel anyway, and I think a lot of these packages are a great deal if you're planning to buy a vacation property or plan for a vacation. Many of them are reasonably priced, so I don't mind hearing about what options are out there, and especially, like I said, if it's going to be something that I deem to be worth my time, which in this case I think $100 was, because it allowed us to shave that much off of our vacation price, which, you know, if we're working on a budget, every little bit counts. So the kids had a good time at the vacation club. Well, one of them anyway. My 9-year-old wanted to stay with us, so she sat with us and listened to the presentation, and we had a really nice salesperson who we had a good conversation with, and it turned out we had a lot in common. So it was kind of like meeting in person, hanging out at the park, and we just had a great conversation. We learned about the park. We let her know that it wasn't something we were going to do, and we were out of there in our 90 minutes. A lot of times, because I have to tell you, I've been on these things a few times before. It depends on what they're offering, but we've gotten some really cool things from going on these. And if you need to set your watch alarm or something like that before you go in, so that you can say at 90 minutes or whatever the time is that they've asked for, that it's time to go, that you've got another commitment, let that be your excuse for having to leave. But ended up, like I said, being a great conversation. My daughter had a good time in the club, had some lunch, watched some video games, and so we shaved $100. So our grand total for the trip was $552.94, and I think that definitely is a budget cost for a 4-day vacation where you're staying in a hotel for 3 nights and at a theme park as well, where you're at a theme park, which can get really expensive really fast. So there you have it. There's our Legoland on a budget. We had a fun time doing it. I hope you learned something about how you can also save money on Legoland or other theme park vacations with your family like it. If you have ideas on how you save money when you go on these types of trips, I would love to hear about them. So please be sure to comment and, on the YouTube channel, or hit me up on the blog of Biz Mommy Travels. But again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next budget trip or out there. Keep saving in the meantime. Bye.